Morgan. I am a mom of a 12-month-old baby boy named Leo who is sleeping right now, so we're going to try to make this really quick before he wakes up. I am here today to talk about 5 things that you can do starting today in your Montessori journey that cost no money and you don't need any special equipment for. I think a lot of us are on quarantine lockdown right now, so if you've been doing research about Montessori and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't get to the store to buy all these toys, or maybe it's not in the budget to buy all of these toys, which I probably will make a video on DIY toys at some point, but these are things that you can start today with no equipment. You don't need anything. All you need is good attitude and a little bit of patience. So I'm going to just go through these things. We actually just recently started doing Montessori. I started researching it a few months ago, and it just really aligns with our values of gentle parenting and understanding that our child is a human being who has emotions and needs, and yeah, it just really aligns with us. And we are by no means experts. I'm saying we as in me and my husband. We're definitely not experts. I am definitely not an expert on Montessori, but we are slowly learning about it, and there's so much information, and it's really amazing. It's really changed how we parent already, and it's made our home a more calm place. And I think as my son grows, it will affect us even more. So, sorry, lots of talking, but I just want to go through these things, and I have them written down here, so if I look down, that's why. So yeah, the first thing is when they get dressed. So in Montessori, if you don't know anything about it, it's all about giving your child freedom, and that can start from birth. So obviously your newborn cannot dress themselves, but what you can do is when you're changing their diaper, when you are putting clothes on them, what you can do is explain what you're doing to them. So you can say, okay baby, it's time for a diaper change. Let's get off your onesie. Uh-oh, you got a little poop on it, that's fine. Something like that. And then just change their diaper while talking to them and explaining to them what you're doing. And that can make them more comfortable. I know diaper changes can be a little bit tough when your baby doesn't like getting their diaper changed. So as they get older, what that can mean is still explaining what you're doing, but when they start standing, when they start pulling themselves up onto things, that means you can start changing them when they're standing up. And this has been a serious game changer for my son because he hates laying on his back. It can actually make children feel vulnerable to lay down and kind of have no control of their body when you're changing their diaper and like holding them down because they're rolling all over the place and they're trying to crawl away. If you just let them stand up, and now he's walking, so he kind of runs away, which is funny. I have to like chase him, but it's fine. Even if I get one pant leg on, he can run away for a second, and I'm like, okay, we gotta get your other pant leg on. You can't wear your pants like that all day or whatever, and he'll do it. And then as your child will get older, you can teach them to dress themselves. So this can mean asking them if they would like to try to put their shirt on, offering assistance when needed. So in Montessori, it's giving as little help as possible, but as much as needed. So if your child really isn't ready to dress themselves, don't try to force them. But if they're showing an interest, if they're pulling their arm through, like I'll let my son push his arm through the shirt, and he's really good at that. And I'll be like, okay, we're going over the head, okay, get your arm through, and he'll push his arm through, something like that. So yeah, that's one way that will change your dressing experience. So along with that, just a real quick point, you could also offer them a few outfit choices and let them choose what they would like to wear for the day. Okay, next is creating a yes space. So what that means is, I have an example right here. We have this built-in bookshelf in our dining area, and we keep this bottom shelf empty right now. We did have some children's books on it, but my son didn't really ever come over here, so we just took them off and put them in his play area. And that he's not putting anything glass on here that we don't want him to grab. I keep my plants a little bit higher because he's not quite old enough to understand that he shouldn't rip my plants apart. So I don't keep anything that I don't want destroyed at his level. So he can explore wherever he wants in our home. We keep the full living space open. Our apartment is pretty like open, but he can go in the dining area, living area. He can go in the kitchen if he wants. All the cabinets are locked. He can't open any of them. Sometimes I open one for him that has just like some random old like bottles and plastic Tupperware that he can play with. And then he also has access to our bedroom all day. There's nothing in there that he can get into. It's pretty funny. He'll walk back and forth. He'll take things from the living area and just carry them in the bedroom and drop them and then come back. And so at the end of the day, I have to go in there and like there's like random stuff all over. But he's totally safe, and that can allow your child the freedom to explore their environment in a safe way where you're not saying, no, don't grab that, no, don't pull on the blinds, no, don't do that. So that can mean covering your outlets, covering corners. We have like cords covered with like these plastic cord cover things so he can't grab them. Keeping curtains up, keeping blinds up, and as they get older, they'll learn not to pull on these things, but basically the point is to create an area where your child can explore freely without you saying no all the time. So that is creating a yes space. So this can be done slowly, maybe just do your living room first, and then try to do the bedroom. Another tip is, everyone should do this, Montessori or not, but screwing your furniture to the wall. That way your child cannot pull furniture onto them. So yes, that's creating a yes space. Number 3 is going to be adjusting your language. So the way you speak to your child is very important in Montessori. So the word no is often used by parents because it's easy. It's instinctual to say, no, stop, no. It's easy. It's hard for me to not say no all the time. So, oh, my son's waking up. I'll be back. He's just playing with some books. So yeah, changing your language instead of saying no. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. What you doing? Hi. What you doing? You gonna come here? Okay. He's got a really nice outfit on. Hey. He loves to look at himself. Okay, so instead of saying no, offering something else, say, if they're chewing on something they shouldn't be, you can say, I see your teeth hurt, maybe. Do you want a teething toy? And you can hand them a teething toy. And there's a whole lot I could say about that, but that's just one of them. And then the other one is praising them. In Montessori, it's another thing that you can change in your language is going to be praising your child. In Montessori, they discourage the use of the term good job, good boy, good girl. It's actually, there's some studies that have been done that show that children actually enjoy things less when they are constantly praised, which I find very interesting. Because I think a lot of us were raised in a way where everything was, good job, baby, good job, honey, you good, great, you're so good at that. So I think that is definitely a shift that is difficult for us to make, but it's a slow process. It's definitely a transition. So things you can say instead of good job would be, let's say they finish a puzzle. You can say, you finished your puzzle. That is such a nice puzzle. Did you have a good time doing it? Something like that. Or, wow, I see you really liked that dinner I made you. You ate so much of it. something like that. Instead of saying, good job, you ate your dinner. Because is it really a good job that they ate their dinner? I mean, if they were hungry, they ate. If they weren't hungry, they didn't eat. If they didn't eat, is it a bad job? Maybe they have a stomach ache, or they need to go to the bathroom or something. So what I'm trying to say is, just because they didn't do something doesn't mean they did a bad job. And just because they did something, it doesn't mean they might have done a good job. It's hard for me to explain this. They might have done a good job, but by telling them good job constantly, it can make them rely on you for validation instead of them validating themselves. I hope that makes sense. The next thing, which is kind of a fun one, in Montessori, one of the big aspects is practical life, teaching your children to be a part of the home. Teaching them to get dressed, brush their own teeth, empty the dishwasher with you, things like that. So one of the easiest things that you can start your baby right when they start eating is going to be wipe their own table or wipe their own high chair. So when my son was 6 months, maybe 7 or 8, because at first he didn't really do much eating. You want that? You want to read? We would give him a cloth after he finished eating and show him, look, and wipe the table. And he actually does it sometimes now. He likes to wipe with a sponge, but sponge, a cloth, something to get them to wipe their table. Even a very, very young child can do that. And I actually started doing that before I even linked it to Hi, what's up, grumpy boy? I just have one more thing to talk about. You gonna let me talk? Okay, you want that? There you go. Okay, so our last point is going to be freedom of movement. So this can mean so many things, but the smallest thing that you can do is to dress your child in clothes that allow them to move around comfortably. It is so cute when kids wear skinny jeans and cute fluffy dresses. Yes, it's adorable. But putting them in comfortable clothes, t-shirts, cotton pants, shorts, bare feet, it just allows them to move. Look at that. What is it? That's a camera. You like it? It's an indestructible camera. It's perfect for you. So that's one of the easiest things, is just dressing them comfortably. My son has no pants on right now. Well, if we go outside, we'll put pants on. But I often let him play in the grass with no shoes on, as long as, there's no glass or something. And he never wears shoes in the house. It makes it way more difficult for him to walk when he's wearing shoes. If we're walking on concrete, I try to put some flip-flops on him or something, but just to be safe. But in the house, he doesn't wear shoes. He's comfortable. Aren't you comfortable? Are you comfortable? Seems pretty comfortable. A lot of times he just wears a onesie or something like that. Where we live, it's very warm. So obviously climate, make sure you're dressing your kid properly. But and then another way you can incorporate freedom of movement is just to allow them to run, jump, climb in a safe way. So a lot of people get a pickler triangle. We don't have one, but those are very popular for letting your child climb in the house in a safe way instead of climbing on furniture. Getting a pull-up bar for a child that's learning to stand. He just cruised on the couch and on the cabinets, so he was fine with that and stuff. But so allow them freedom of movement, and that also goes in turn with the yes space. So allowing them freedom to roam around the safe spaces in your house. Right? Another thing we love to do with freedom of movement is go outside. So we spend a lot of time outdoors when it's nice, and it's really nice where we live, so it's always nice. We have no excuse not to go outside. So it's beautiful, beautiful here. So sorry, I'm not trying to brag. But anyways, so we were very lucky. A lot of times when we go on a walk, I will bring the stroller, he'll be in the stroller, but then I'll let him walk for a bit since he's just started walking. Obviously, he couldn't do that before he was walking, but I'll let him hang out on a blanket in the grass when he was just, you know, crawling or just laying there. Just letting them explore the environment instead of just always being in the stroller, always being in the car seat. So I thought, oh, you found a pen. Sorry, my son really needed me. And I was just like, okay, I'll do this later. So I'm just doing a quick outro here just to say that I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really want to do more videos in the future about parenting, using the Montessori method, and maybe using some other parenting methods, because I do have interest in other methods as well, like Waldorf and things like that. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I learned a lot from watching other people's parenting videos online, so I thought, why not contribute? Anyways, I hope you liked it. I hope that you did learn something that maybe you can implement into your daily routine. And if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It's my first video, so putting myself out there for you guys. Anyways, if anyone's watching. Anyways, so if you liked it, thumbs up, and comment if you use any of these or if you have any other free ways that you can implement Montessori into your home. I would love to hear about it. Anyways, I guess I will hopefully be making another video soon. All right, bye.